Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome. Thank you for coming. For those of you who are joining me in the morning, this is the early morning. This is when I usually do it. But when you watch the video, it could be at any time. It's totally up to you. But we're going to go ahead and get into Proverbs as we have been for the last 68 days. This is the 68th day of doing this consistently. So without fail. And we're on chapter 12, plugging away. Thank you for joining me this morning. Hope you're having a good one. I am pretty chill. All right, here we go. Proverbs 12, 4 to 5 in the ESV. An excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who brings shame is like rottenness in his bone. The thoughts of the righteous are just, the counsel of the wicked are deceitful. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. Put this off. I'm also going to go ahead and put my take my baseline from yesterday. Remember, the baseline is that, and generally speaking, that you're living this life to follow God, and you're doing your best to live a good life, righteous life. Wisdom is goes hand in hand with following Christ or following God, or that you're fearing the Lord, and you can read the rest of it. I'm just going to go straight into the verse. All right, it's talking about an excellent wife. And I'm going to go ahead and use this as a spouse, and then not an excellent wife. um, Thoughts of the wicked. Oh, sorry. Thoughts of the righteous. Counsel of the wicked. So this yellow is the crown of her husband. Oops. Like rottenness to the bone. Are just. Are deceitful. All right. So, excellent wife. I'm just going to go ahead and use this as anyone who is a spouse. And excellent wife basically means someone of moral character, high moral character, who is respected by others, who takes care of business, who is responsible, who makes good decisions, who is wise, follows Christ. Um, Basically, this person who is your spouse is an amazing person, respected in the household, takes care of the house, and someone who is respected outside the house. And basically, and I know they're talking about wife, but it could be any spouse. It's the crown of her husband, or his wife is the crown of his wife, of her husband. The excellent husband is the crown of his wife. You want to go the contrast. Okay. So a crown is a marker, and it's a symbol. It's a symbol of excellence. It's a symbol of authority. It's a symbol of respect. And if you are an excellent spouse, the person you're with feels it's literally the light of their lives. Like you are special. You are, yeah. Hopefully you're that person. The person who is encouraging, uplifting, is enthusiastic about what your spouse does. Um, that you take care of business, and we could trust you. And the hope and prayer is that you're that person. Okay. And that's what an excellent spouse is someone who's all that, who follows the baseline, who other people trust. Life-giving words and actions come from you. And and you are the one that does that, and your spouse is like, "Oh my gosh, my partner is amazing." Are you the partner that isn't amazing to the people around you? Or are you the other person, the person who brings shame and is not? And shame is an embarrassment. You're not respected by other people. You don't do a good job. You don't, the things that come out of your mouth is not encouraging or uplifting. It's toxic. The toxic. That's kind of like a wicked person as your spouse, if that's the thing. And what happens is that rottenness to the bone is basically rottenness that's internal or negative things that's from the inside and it works its way out. And it infects everything. It's rottenness in his bone. It hurts on the inside. It's embarrassing. It's shameful. It's a negative. Um, she who brings shames. Um, I guess the thing would be like, since we are not perfect, and remember the baseline is a guideline, and if you are an excellent wife, and when you mess up, or sorry, excellent spouse, and when you mess up, you go ahead and take responsibility for that and try to find ways to get better. Someone who brings shame will not accept responsibility and finds ways to make excuses, cannot say, I'm sorry, cannot be teachable. And I feel like an excellent spouse is someone who's teachable, who grows with you, who walks in the weeds with you. What that means with walks in the weeds is like when you're going through hard times, they're there with you holding your hand. But someone who brings shame will not. They will abandon you, not help you, kind of belittle you. And it's very hurtful if the person you are living with, your partner, is not there, who not there and does not get your back in all aspects of life. And so they someone who also brings shame would actually belittle you in front of and behind your back. Belittle you, be disrespectful and all that kind of stuff. So that's rotten to the bone. Someone who's not there for your benefit, to help you out. And one of the things about being a partner is that if you go all the way back to Genesis, I guess something I learned in Sunday school, and which I read the Bible before. Um, the two will leave their parents or their mother and become one, and you're one flesh. And so when you make a commitment to your partner, and that's through marriage, I do believe in marriage, is that you are one body and um, the things of your household, the things in your life, you do it together. You talk to each other, you coordinate, collaborate, encourage, lift each other up, all those things. And if you are someone who's toxic and brings shame, it's hurtful in the long run because this should be your best friend. That's what I have to say about that. So, uh, chap- chapter 12, verse 4 is about what kind of life are you bringing in your household? Are you bringing an excellent life, or are you bringing shame to your house? Excellent does not mean you're perfect. Excellent means that you're doing your best and you're trying to follow the baselines within your house. And if you do mess up, which is possible because, we're not perfect, yeah, you go ahead and accept responsibility, ask for forgiveness, grow, and then move on. Okay. Verse 5, the thoughts of the just, wicked, righteous are just. Remember, if you are right, I'm not saying you're right all the time. That's what it's talking about. It means that you're following the baseline, doing the best that you can, looking for wisdom. The things that you're doing are just because you are being life giving, you are being encouraging, you are someone who is respected and stuff like that. So the things come out of your mouth is life giving. Things that are coming out of your mouth should be encouraging. The things that are your life is just because you're trying to live the baseline, the based life. So when I'm called, I know it means other things. Um, yeah, let me look at that up real quick. What does it mean? It's a term that that's used a lot to be based in slang. Confident, authentic, unafraid to express one's opinions, even if it's unpopular and conventional. It can be used as a compliment to show approval or respect to someone being courageous and unique. The term origin, okay, core meaning to be yourself, act with swagger, and not care. It's pretty based. So if you're right, yeah, in confidence, you're doing it because you know that you are following God and being wise or trying to be wise, and you have the best intentions. The intentions is positive. Okay, so based. Let me try that again. The opposite based is often considered cringe based. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty based. I always think of when I hear it as also being truthful, being true, factual. That's pretty based. Anyways, hmm, you're pretty based. Anyways, the thoughts of the righteous are just. Yeah, because they're following guys. It's of course they're going to be just because you're trying to do what's right, trying to do what's honorable, trying to do what's reasonable, of mercy, good fruits, impartial, and with sincerity, having a lot of integrity, following the fruits of the spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness. You are that person. Goodness, faithfulness, gentle, self control. All these positive traits. Um, and your thoughts are all out there, and so your thoughts are going to be just because you are doing that. Mhm. It's not saying the thoughts of someone who is right are just. I guess you are right because you're being merciful, full of good fruits, and impartial. I'm not so sure. Um, Unfortunately, the counsel of the wicked and the wicked always looks for their own unselfish gain or selfish gains, unselfish, deceitful, lie, distrustful. They're wicked. No one mourns the wicked, and so the wicked person is definitely someone who's not trustworthy. They're trusting their own thoughts. They have no based um level of authority, meaning the Bible, God, Christ, wisdom, and they're not using it. They're using their own thoughts, their own ideas. And unfortunately, it is destructive. Not only is it destructive to others, it's also destructive to themselves. And and actually, these are someone who brings shame and destructive to themselves and destructive to others. So um, they have destructive relationships and they're also destructive to themselves and they're deceitful. And so, um, and they're taught, I guess verse 5 is all about what comes out of your heart. Okay. The righteous person, the things that come out of their heart is positive and uplifting, while the things that come out of the heart of the wicked, and the things is self-serving and deceitful and destructive. And I know for a fact that I have destructive thoughts. uh, And it has to do with karma in relation to Karens, Kevins, people who get into, I know there's a definition for it. I'm going to define it. Karens and Kevins who take it upon themselves to be social, the social police, I guess. They get into other people's businesses in a negative and toxic way without ask for. They're self-appointed judges of what is appropriate in public, and usually it's in, well, when I see it, it's in ways that is kind of racist sometimes, or racist, or judgmental, or why, what, what are you doing here, woman? Kind of thing. Get out of my face. Um, And so, yeah. And so those are, forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, those people, the Karens, and then also, so these are the people that I have negative thoughts towards, which I need to be forgiven of. Because remember, wicked people also praise the destruction of other people. Um, Karens and Kevins in my mind, and sometimes in my heart, I feel like get what they deserve when I see them on shorts or TikToks or whatever. These are the people where I feel like this is justice. Like they do something and they get arrested, or they get called out, or something hurtful happens to them. And I do have to ask for forgiveness. I don't want to enjoy the destruction of those who are misled or self-righteous, I guess. That's one group of people that kind of get me. The other group of people that get me are the the people who drive bad. And this is where the inner road rage kind of comes out. And so I should just be, pun intended, be in my lane. That's what people end up doing, where I have a hard time with when people are not in their lane, even in my own household, especially when my oldest son tries to order my oldest daughter around, and then my daughter trying to be the mother of everybody, and they're trying to order everybody around. So we have to kind of remind them to, hey, let mom and dad deal with those situations, and one, that's not their place, and two, that changes their relationship if they do that. The relationship should be brother and sister or siblings, right? How siblings should live to each other, encouraging each other, learning together, play together, all those things. But to manage your siblings, uh, unless you're the oldest, like my son, yeah, I don't mind my son manage the littles who are 8-year old and 5-year old, but I don't want my 13-year old managing my 11-year old, because they can have a toxic relationship where they get in on each other and stuff like that. Okay. So, anyways, that's the counsel of the wicked. I'm not saying my son is wicked. It's just that sometimes he gets on my oldest daughter's lane too much sometimes, which kind of annoys her because she wants to do her own thing. And so I should be, or my wife should be the one who kind of calls her out. Hey, you need to be doing your chores. So, but they do tattle on each other. Mom, they're not doing the thing that you're doing. And so, yeah, I hear that, but I still have to remind them that, hey, in the world of life and everything that's happening, you need to stay in your lane, um, so that um, they could have good relations with you. I don't know. So, how's your relationship with other people? Are you staying in your lane? Are you being a Karen or a Kevin for some reason? You guys gotta stop that. I know you have disagreements with other people, but you know what? It's not for you to do something physically unless it's actually going to hurt you. Or, anyways, as for road rage and bad drivers, you cannot change what other people do. But boy, is it karma when you see something happen to them, or like when they speed. Okay, I don't want them to get in an accident. I don't want people to get hurt. I want them to drive safe. So I guess the thing I could praise would be like when they zigzag and try to get in front and everything like that, and then a red light happens, and then I drive up right next to them, even though they spent so much effort and excitement to go ahead and try to pass me up and do all that stuff. So I guess the greatest pleasure that I think is okay is when I roll up on them on the side of them, and I don't like smile and turn on them, and well, I don't think I do. And just say, mm. It's kind of like this. You turn and you kind of look and you go, smile. But again, that's causing more road rage, and he might do something to you. So you better be careful. You better be careful. You better be careful. Anyways, so stay in your lane. Um, be someone if your thoughts are on God and doing the right thing, those things are just and following the baseline. Being excellent, being an excellent spouse is amazing, honorable, and stuff. And don't bring shame to your household. Accept your responsibilities, ask for forgiveness. It's okay to be wrong. Just make sure you learn and be teachable and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Hope you enjoyed this time, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.